Let me just make sure I'm streaming the right thing. Yep, I am. All right. Where? Oh, I just need to actually open up my music folder. I was halfway to my music folder, and then I got lost along the way. But here we go. Hey everyone, you are tuned in to the show that's on Thursdays. Well, actually, it's normally on Mondays, but no, you're tuned into
Insert title here.
And yes, that's right. It's Thursday, and we're doing the show. But that's okay, because it is January 12th, and I'm your host, Johnny Gators. Joining me for the first time, Warhawk.
Hello. How's it going?
And it's going good. And, oh, wow, we already got 3 viewers. I think Warhawk is bringing the viewers in. I think that's been what the show has been missing all along.
Nice.
Yeah. I got to tell you, my Twitter numbers are going down, down, down lately. I don't know what's up. I was holding pretty steady at over 1,000. I've dipped under 1,000 followers on Twitter. So I think my fake followers are not my fake followers must be Trump fans. That best I can figure.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know who. That's the annoying thing. I don't know who. It doesn't tell you who stops following. Now I know Dune's not following me.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's relegated me to venison status, which is he'll check my account every now and then and not follow it. Because there's a lot of great Trump-related tweets that I just can't help but hit the retweet button on. And I don't understand what Dune takes issue with. I mean, if we go through my tweets for the past few weeks, let's see. Well, I tweeted about the weather being cold in my balls. I don't think Dune had a problem with that. Someone mentioned that Trump, the man doesn't really have opinions, just reactions. I thought that was a pretty good observation.
Well, who knows?
Who knows? Anyways, for all I know, you know what? We had 3 viewers, went down to 2. So I think we have other Trump fans just dropped.
I don't know. Maybe one of them is that Booker guy. Who knows?
Jay Booger could have been. No. Jay Booger would be stick around, be like, hey, you don't have a do rag on your head or some fancy headgear. You haven't coughed into the microphone. I think we've met Jay Booger's standards so far.
I hope so. I really do.
Yeah. So we're here Thursday, and I don't believe I'm bumping anyone. It used to be that the schedule was full on all these streams and all these networks. Every night there was a live show, and I'm trying to think what used to go on Thursday nights. I think the Annihilation Principle was on Thursdays.
I do remember it used to be horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's right. They did Thursdays. I knew someone did it after Annihilation Principle, but yes, good old producer Bill. We miss him, and Lisa. But,
yeah,
I still see I still see them on Facebook. Lisa and B Spot have been posting lots of pictures and hanging out, so that's always fun to see.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, I could not go another week without doing this show, even though I do plenty of other shows. But I made a big purchase on Tuesday.
What'd you get?
I got myself a 55-inch 4K Samsung Smart TV.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, I've been thinking lately because I paid something like $600 for my last TV, which is a Vizio 42-inch 1080p. And that was at the time where that was a lot of money, but for what the prices were, that was kind of at the point where large high definition TVs were becoming standard and affordable.
Right. Yeah, they're coming down on prices every year. I got like 3 of them. The first one I bought 10 years ago, only worked for 2 years, then it crapped out on me, and it's now sitting in the closet. I was planning on doing something with it, either trying to fix it or use it for spare parts or whatever. And about 4 years ago, I got a PS3 and with the GTA 5. I was like, okay, but I had a smaller TV, and it's like one of those TVs that has a flat screen, but the whole TV is not flat. It's one of those jobs.
Ah.
And it's like, okay, well, the screen was so tiny, I could barely see the objects in the game. So I thought, okay, well, it's time for me to upgrade to a flat screen. So I went to Sears, was looking for a 32-incher, and originally wanted to get a Sanyo or a Sony, but they were sold out. And I was looking at this one I got here, which doubles as my secondary computer monitor. And I think it's called Seiki. It's Seiki. It's Japanese. And I said, okay, I'll take this one. The usual price for this one is like $250. But I was at the right place at the right time because that day it was on sale for $135.
Oh, it's always nice to get a good deal.
Indeed. So I got that. It's now my secondary computer monitor. And I got another one downstairs is a Vizio, also a 32-inch. That was my mom's, but she passed away last year, so I took it. And it's now being used primarily as a music player for the pet bird.
It's funny you mentioned that because you're kind of going a little over the TVs earlier, and you mentioned having something to keep the bird company, and that of course, sidebar moment here. My dad has this funny story from when he was in college. Someone he knew in the dorm had a pet bird, and it was time to go home for a break or something, and the guy didn't want to bother transporting the bird home. And figured, I'll just, dump a lot of bird seed into the cage, and the bird will be fine.
Right.
It was, but he didn't want the bird to get lonely. So he set up his record changer to play the 45 of Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree by Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Oh God!
On loop.
If I was that bird, I would commit phallicide or birdicide or something. Anything but Tony Orlando.
Yeah. Apparently housekeeping stumbled upon this scene of a bird and Tony Orlando and Dawn on loop. And I don't know which they were more upset about, but they called him up and said, you got to come here and get your bird.
Right. Now, maybe if he played something like Fly, Robin, Fly or something from the group called the Birds, maybe, but...
Yeah, that would have been more appropriate than Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. But and speaking of people who are fans of Tony Orlando and Dawn, we have Venison on the line.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh,
Tony Orlando and Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Not
you're calling them?
So Venison's got some sound issues. And he's going to loop us back. Okay. What's going on over there?
I think that was my mistake. I don't know how, but I ended up calling Shocker Radio at the same time.
Shocker Radio, are they even still on?
I don't know. I saw them up there and it was ringing, and it's like, wait a minute, you're not ringing. Oh my God, I'm ringing them.
So you started a conference call, is what you did there.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I missed the Shocker. I don't know what. Oh, was that feedback?
I'd say it was.
Well,
and the ASPCA should be trolling the people.
You know what? The official topic this week is TV inputs, which means, of course, we're going to talk about anything but TV inputs, because so far we've talked about birds, and I'm about to talk about, and now we're talking about Tony Orlando and Dawn, and all their great hits.
What time did you start?
10 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But I don't know, because the way it sounded like, been out for an hour at least. I was like, wait a minute, this ain't right.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We just started. So you know what? We're so far off topic. I haven't even mentioned yet that you can write into the show through NHB Live on AOL Instant Messenger and Skype. You can also call the Skype. You could tweet us at NHB Radio. Carrier pigeons or parakeets or whatever birds you want to, send our way to iMessage to them. That works. We
As
do
long
not.
as you have been traumatized by, discussing pop radio.
We do not respond to yellow ribbons though. So don't tie any of those. Dune writes in. He got a J-pop ready TV.
Wait a minute, Johnny. Don't you mean? Oh wait. Dune writes in.
I would need that if I had that sound effect on my soundboard, but
J-pop radio.
J-pop radio.
J-pop radio. Oh God.
He's probably listening to Baby Metal.
And by the way, Dune, could you follow me on Twitter again? I'm dying out here. I'm under 1,000 followers. All those fake followers that you brought me, they're all Trump fans. They're dropping like flies.
And yeah, I only post some things just to be sarcastic now.
Hey,
sarcastic or humorous.
If it makes me chuckle a little to myself or smile a little bit, or I don't know, I retweet it.
Yeah, so do I. Can't help it.
But anyways, speaking of Tony Orlando and Dawn,
we are.
Yes, and all the great hits like Candida, Tie Yellow River Around the Old Oak Tree, Knock 3 Times, Who's in the Strawberry Patch with Sally. What were some other? I know I'm missing at least one or two. Or
you're usually missing them too. I usually turn the station.
Say, has anybody seen My Sweet Gypsy Rose? There we go. That's another one. These were all songs that were featured on various K-Tel albums of the day.
Of course.
How did I know you were going to say going to get to K-Tel?
Because I have some exciting K-Tel related.
Yes, he does.
There is a podcast or a radio show out there. There's actually a station called Vinyl Voyage Radio, and I believe they stream on what's that? Vaughn Live. So they're on Vaughn, and they do a show called Adventures in Vinyl, which a new episode comes out about every month, and it plays an episode every Sunday. And you can listen to all the episodes on the Vinyl Voyage Radio website, and each episode features a K-Tel record played in its entirety.
Nice.
And recently, the guy that hosts that show featured a K-Tel album called "Sold Out," which is kind of a soul album, and I have Kate. Now, I just want to let Jay Booger know that was venison right there. So please send all complaints of hacking and coughing to venison. But anyways, K-Tel would release different versions of they would use the same album name in different markets, but put different songs on them. So the UK version is Sold Out, has different songs from the US version is Sold Out. And I happened to pick up a UK copy of Sold Out for like a $1 in a dollar bin some time ago, and I thought it was a pretty cool selection. It had some interesting stuff on it. And so when he featured the US Sold Out, I sent him a tweet because we follow each other on Twitter. And I said to him, "Hey, you should feature the UK version of Sold Out next." He said, "Oh, I would if I had it. I wish I did." I'm like, well, let me record it in for you. And I sent him a copy of it. And so the January episode of Adventures in Vinyl I just want to play the beginning of this for you, because we totally get a plug.
Be sure to get the best from K-Tel. 20 original hits, original stars, a super new album, 20 fantastic hits, original stars, 20 smash hits, $5.99 with K-Tel, save $7.99. You from K-Tel Records, 22 explosive hits, 22 original stars. K-Tel presents another great new album hits now, 22 original stars and one great stereo LP.
We're just going to listen to the intro where he talks a little bit before he plays a record.
Welcome to Adventures in Vinyl, your musical time machine through the power of K-Tel Records. I am Bruce Janu. Welcome to the new year. If this is the first time you've turned into Adventures in Vinyl, here's the deal. We play a single K-Tel album from side A to side B. And through it all, we take a trip back to the year in which the album was released. Now, on our last episode, we listened to a never-opened copy of K-Tel's 1975 release, Sold Out. That's sold, S-O-U-L-E-D. Here's the commercial.
K-Tel presents.
Yeah, he always plays the commercials for them if he has them available. And he doesn't have a UK commercial, but I guess to kind of fill the time at the start there, he repeated the US commercial. But what I'm getting to is he totally plugs the show when we get to him mentioning where he got the recording from. And I was just so thrilled to be plugged. That came out wrong. You know what I mean.
Sure we do.
But anyways, this sounds like it might even be a record that Venison might dig at least 2 or 3 songs off of.
Get sold out. 20 super soul hits, $4.99.
Yeah, I'll look at one or two.
$6.99.
Now, here's the thing about K-Tel. They released different versions of their albums in different markets. So there were several different versions of Sold Out. We listened last time to the American release. There was also a release in the Netherlands, which featured a much different track list, and also one released in the UK. A listener who goes by the name of Johnny Gator sent me the UK version. He is part of the No Holds Barred radio network, a talk comedy radio channel, and runs a show called Insert Title Here. You could find it at nhbradio.com. Anyway, this album, Sold Out, the UK version, is fantastic.
So anyways, yeah, there he goes into the album, and I highly recommend checking out the podcast. I listened to the whole thing today, even though I already had the recording and the record, but so there we go. Totally got a plug for me, for the station.
And he's on Vaughn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gonna have to check him out.
Yeah. I think they're Vinyl Voyage Radio, and I believe they play everything from vinyl. That's kind of their thing. Now I don't know if I know this is a like hour show or hour and 20 minutes, or it varies. That runs every Sunday, and oftentimes they do replays because it's only a new one about once a month. But so I don't know if the whole thing is replays of shows, or if there's different shows, or if it just spins music. But this is a special show. I don't know the full details of Vinyl Voyage Radio, but if you want to listen to some, groovy music from the era of vinyl, certainly recommend putting it on. And if you want to listen to a K-Tel album in its entirety, there's plenty to choose. And all my favorites are on here. He's already done most of my favorites. Music Power, Music Express, Dynamite, Fantastic, Music Machine, Believe in Music, Super Bad.
Many of them, which you've heard here.
Yes,
a lot.
We have gone over most of these here. And Venison always gives high scores.
No, I don't.
Because when his connection craps out, we vote on his behalf. And you'll be surprised how many thumbs up Venison will give Tony Orlando and Dawn when his connection craps out.
Because of that.
So 3 thumbs up.
The third. Dune writes in, Wahoo! Plug a Rama. See, now doesn't Getting the Station plug deserve a follow on Twitter? Just saying. You know, and dude, maybe you can get all your friends to follow me on Twitter too, to help make up for the fake followers that unfollowed me this week. Yes. So yeah,
Wonderful.
there's my plug.
Maybe maybe we should call this show "Insert Plug Here." No, maybe not.
No.
Bad idea. Wait a minute. I got something for that. That's bad, Warhawk. Bad. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, so getting back to the actual topic at hand, titty fuck. No, wait, that's
Oh, wait, just real quick. Who is this guy again?
was this guy Bruce what's his last name? Something or that starts with a J. Bruce Janu. And
Bruce Jenner?
no, not Jenner. Janu, Janu. And the name of the show is Adventures in Vinyl, and you can find it at
No, not him.
not him. Who?
Talking about this guy here.
Oh yeah, me. This is Warhawk.
It's Warhawk, longtime listener, writer-inner, and
Long time caller, first time listener.
there you go, exactly. You know the joke that the show starts with listeners and ends with co-hosts. Well, this is this is another case of that. You know, I put the word out on Twitter that I wanted to do a fill-in, but I needed some co-hosts to help out, and Warhawk chimed in. And
I wasn't the first one.
you weren't the wait. Who else chimed in?
Addy, unless he was.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him.
Of course you did.
I'm mad at him.
Yeah. Why?
You see, every now and then, Addy has this way of like he can act like a normal, respectable human being. If
And those times he walked to the point where you want to slit his throat.
he can be a normal human being when he wants to, he just doesn't want to all that often. And I can deal with assholes to a certain level. But when you start throwing insults at me of a certain level, I just, and Addy decided to, make reference to the fact that he thinks I'm a racist at some point during this last week. And I was right in the middle of a heated exchange with someone else. And so I was in no mood to put up with this jackassery. And I basically am like, no, I'm not putting up with this. I am not a racist, and I will not put up and tolerate with you call me a racist. So, you can go get fucked. But although I think he's supposed to be in the Boston area sometime soon and said that we were going to get a drink. Now, he said we're going to get a drink. and he didn't really give me much of an option, I don't think. So I don't think he knows my address. No. The last time he said
a racist. Well, there are times when I think that your treatment of me on this show is rather. Never mind.
No, he thinks I'm racist because I'm too nice to black people.
How's that work?
Well, because I give them special treatment, which means that I'm treating them differently because of their race. Therefore, that makes me a racist.
I almost thought you were going to say you give them special treats. The way you said it, treatment, it was like you almost cut it right in the middle.
I guess it just came out that way, but no, it's because of my views. He thinks that because I had this whole view of fairness and equality, but he thinks I take it to the point of being beyond that, and that I feel that people of different races should have special treatment, and I don't think so. That's not at all what I think, but he considers my views.
I can vouch for that. The time when he came over and bought pizza, he ate 5 slices. I only had 3.
No, I ate 4 and I left you 4.
No, you left me 3. I counted them. I was hungry.
I
Who
bought
counts-
the pizza. I bought the pizza.
Yeah.
I gave you money for smokes, though. That made up for it, right? Pizza and smokes.
Yeah, grape soda.
You picked the grape soda. I did take a picture of you holding the grape soda.
Yeah,
though.
that's what you did. And posted it.
And you had a big smile. You were happy to have that grape soda. Of course I posted
I was
that
happy to
picture.
have pizza. Grape soda was optional.
You would have rather had more pizza.
Yeah, that was a good pizza.
Yeah, it was. It was a good pizza. But anyways, so TVs. So I bought I bought my first TV when I worked at Walmart, and it was a 27-inch Orion, which was Walmart's generic brand. And I used it because when you work at Walmart, Walmart takes care of their employees. You work for Walmart, you're part of a team, and they got your back. Because when Christmas rolls around, anyone could just get a Christmas bonus check, which equates to cash that you can go spend somewhere whenever you want. But Walmart wants to make it a little more personal, add the personal touch by giving you an extra 10% off any one item in their store. So that's your Christmas bonus. So that means the more money you give Walmart, the bigger your Christmas bonus is.
Oh, that's nice.
Because 10% off a TV is a lot more than 10% off a video game. So yeah, I was like, damn it, I want my bonus. I'm going to get my. So I up to this point, I've been using a TV that I found in a dumpster working at the garbage company, and it had some lines on the top of the screen. So I'm like, you know what, that 27-inch Orion, not a bad picture. It actually had the curvature of the screen was a little flatter than most 27-inch TVs. It actually, I liked that TV, and it served me well. And so I bought it and lugged it up to my room. And actually, I kept that TV up until I moved to Oakland. And then when I noticed that large TVs are getting in the $500, $600 range, it's like, well, that's affordable. I'm working. I'm saving some money. I'm going to keep an eye. And I loved Woot. And the thing that I loved about Woot was that it doesn't matter what you buy. It's $5 shipping even if you buy a big screen TV. And it's like, I had to test that theory. So I bought a big screen TV off of Woot, a 42-inch Vizio. They delivered it to the front step at my apartment in Oakland. Kristen was there to pull it inside before anyone had a chance to steal it. And I kept the curtains closed to make sure no one knew I had a brand new 42-inch big screen TV in Oakland. And it was the place above us that didn't have a 42-inch big screen TV in Oakland that got robbed. Go figure.
Yeah, that's a place where you want a big flat screen TV. It's Oakland.
Yeah. I think it's because Kristen was home all the time that saved me from ever getting robbed. Because the people upstairs were gone when the robbery happened, and I think they tried to break into another place and they made a run for it at some point. But that's why I decided, it's time to get out of Oakland.
Yeah.
But anyways, that TV is still here with the 27-inch Orion. I when I moved to Hayward, I was like, I'm not lugging this thing to Hayward because I'm not using it anymore. It's just sitting in the kitchen next to the Christmas tree stand. So I actually put a ad on Craigslist, free TV. Come and get it. And sure enough, someone took me up on the offer and showed up and was unable to lift the TV to get it in her trunk and asked me for help. And normally I would have been like, as soon as she showed up, let me get that in that trunk. But right before she showed up, I mean, me and Kristen are working really hard trying to clean up this apartment, which I still charged us cleaning in the and took it out of our deposit. But we're scrubbing, we're mopping, we're carpet cleaning, we're doing all these things, and I at some point, because we're carpet cleaning, my socks get soaking wet, so I take my socks off. So I'm running around the apartment barefoot, and one of the trims between the rooms had a screw in it that managed to be up just enough that I nicked my foot on it and gave myself a nice bleeding cut right in my foot, and that sucked.
Ouch.
Yeah, and so I'm dealing with trying to stop the bleeding while she's struggling with how am I going to pick up this 27-inch TV and put it in the trunk. And my thought is, free TV, your problem. I'm going to bandage my foot because
Nice.
I wouldn't sit there and watch her try to struggle with it and be like, your problem, because I'm not an ass. I'm feeling like kind of an ass not helping her, but at least I'm actually trying to tend to a wound that is keeping me from helping the nice lady from getting the TV in her trunk. And at some point, after I've managed to wrap it up in paper towels and shove the wet sock over it to hold the paper towels in place, because we were moving and barely anything was left in this apartment at this point, she says, can I get some help? And I'm like, yeah, let me throw on a shoe over all this. And I think I got the bleeding to slow down, and I threw it in her trunk, and I'm like, you're going to be able to get it into your home? So, oh, I got people to help me when I get it there. So it was one happy customer there.
Oh yeah, dripping blood everywhere.
Yeah. No, I had a wet sock on my foot soaking up the blood at this point. So it was all good.
Insert wet sock here.
One way or another, my socks end up absorbing bodily fluid. I don't get.
You might want to rethink of that. Because it's a sock.
I hope it was different socks than the other one.
No. If I put the wrong sock on my foot while it was bleeding, that'd be rather rough. That would suck. Besides, you can't really get those socks on again. They crunch too much. It just kind of breaks in half.
And they could double as a weapon too if you knock someone over the head with it.
Don't.
They find out why it's so hard.
Anyways, so that was my first TV that I bought, and then I bought the Vizio 42-inch because I was waiting for Woot to have a good deal on one. And back then, Woot didn't have like 20 things, and other different. Because that's the thing, Woot used to be one thing a day, and then they added like a second thing, and then they added the wine, and then they started adding a little thing, and now they have like all these categories on the page of different like month specials and the garage sales. Woot still is cool, but it's very different. So back then, if you wanted to buy a TV on Woot, you had to wait for the one day that they had a TV on Woot, and hope they didn't sell out before you saw it. And so, sure enough, 42-inch Vizio, which was right what I was looking for. I was looking for something in the $500 to $600 range, not in the 30 inches range, in the 40s, and high def. And Vizio was a brand that I saw was usually priced well. So that showed up, and bam, and that served me well. And that's why I got set up in the living room right now. And it's got 3 HDMI inputs, which I only use one of because I have all my HDMI devices going through the receiver because I don't have an HDMI out from the TV. So if I want to get sound from my HDMI devices, I have to run them through the receiver. So
none of them have HDMI out.
And I don't understand that because TVs.
Yes, we do. They do it for the copyright thing. Well,
that still doesn't make sense because I mean the HDMI out from the TV would be a pass through of what's going in, and you already have it. I mean there's already a code on that, but a pass through. I mean because receivers have HDMI ins and HDMI out. That's why you can get the receiver to the TV. The TVs come with multiple HDMI inputs and really crappy built-in speakers. Of course, you want the sound to come out of your receiver. And TVs do have digital audio outputs. You know what? I wonder if the higher end TVs do have HDMI output, because if you're going to use your TV tuner, wouldn't you want that output? Because right now I'm using the TV's got an optical output for audio, and I've got optical inputs on my receiver, so I've been using that to get my digital sound, because I do use a TV tuner with the rabbit ears. But yeah, you can't really use the TV as an HDMI selector if you want to use your receiver for your sound, because if you want your HDMI devices run through your receiver, you got to go into the receiver first and then into the TV. So I only use one of the 3 HDMI inputs on the TV.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, because you have an HDMI output, you could tie it into a recorder.
Well, you still
And that's
could.
a no-no.
Well, you still could. Hey, I record anything I want to whenever. But Warhawk, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Does Woot sell refurbished and reconditioned, or do they sell brand new stuff as well?
I think mostly it's refurbs, and I know the one I bought this time's a refurb. And my thought on refurbs is that if there was a problem with it coming out of the factory, I'm getting the one that's been looked over and tested a second time.
Well, I'm seeing one here. It's a factory reconditioned. It's a Vizio 60-inch 3D Razor LED smart TV for $619.99.
Yeah, well, no, I already bought another TV. I did see that, but yeah, that's not a bad deal. But I've been really liking the picture on Samsung TVs these days.
As long as they don't explode.
It's not a phone, and I'm not going to hold it up to my face. But
oh man, this came so close to buying one.
Their dryers explode too.
Oh, well,
Huge.
I'll keep a fire extinguisher near the TV then. But
Wonderful.
But anyways, it's got the 3 HDMI inputs, of which I only use one. 2 component video inputs, which I use both of, because my Wii has a component video out and my PlayStation 2 has component video out. So I have both of those going into the component video in. And it's got one AV input on the back, which I have my Nintendo hooked up to, and a AV with Super Video on the side, which I switched that between my Super Nintendo and my Nintendo 64. So I'm using all the older inputs, and the Vizio TV comes in an age where HDMI was the new thing, and there was still a lot of older devices and VCRs blinking 12 o'clock that people just couldn't get rid of.
And something about S-Video. I mean, I've got S-Video out on the DVD players I got, and I tried both of them. Well, actually, I tried all 3: HDMI out, S-Video out, and component out. And the S-Video is not much better than the component for some reason.
Oh no! S-Video is inferior to component.
Yeah, I was wondering how that is. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be Super Video. It's supposed to be better.
No, S-Video is better than composite.
Oh, that's what I meant, composite.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but you know what? I couldn't really ever tell that much of a difference between composite and S-Video, but there's a slight difference. There are people that are more nitpicky about their video than me. And, I act like I'm nitpicky and the best of the best, but it all, I had to make a compromise at the end, and it's one that I'll probably never notice the difference of. Because I'm an audio guy. I'm not so much a video guy. In fact, I probably could have bought another 1080p TV. Someone could have slapped 4K on the box, and I'd probably never know the difference. But don't tell Samsung that.
Yeah.
I paid for 4K. I want 4Ks. There better be not 3Ks. No, that's right out. But if you have 4Ks, it's okay. Right? Is that how it works?
Supposedly. I haven't seen a 4K yet, so I couldn't tell you.
And I'm not sure if there's a 5.1K yet either.
That's what I'm holding out for. No, I already settled for the 4K. No.
I heard of 8K already out.
8K, yeah. You know what? I thought high def was as high as they needed to go for the size of the TVs that we're at. Because I mean, the big thing is that standard def is from a time period where the average TV was 13 inches. So when they start coming out with these like 36-inch TVs and, you know, even bigger than that, and you got those really big ones that sit down on the floor, the resolution of those TVs was never intended to go that size. And so, yeah, we needed to do something about that. And high def was like, oh my God, it looks like a picture. And so it's kind of, you know, I still think high def looks pretty great. But, you know, time to upgrade.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't really see, you know, it gets to a point where, you know, how much high def is high def? Because, you know, all right, you know, this plasma, you know, that I got, 42-inch plasma. You know, fantastic picture and all, after adjusting this, that, and the other thing, and I mean, really tweaking it out. It got the picture absolute best possible you could ever get. I mean, and, you know, you can even do some of the things like they joke about, you know, on TV and, you know, in comics. You know, where the guy's in there looking around for something, and you're like, it's right there, because it's a totally high definition, and you can see it. You know, like a golfer looking for a golf ball, and even on on one of these science type channels, these fossil hunters looking for fossils, and they're sitting there saying, no, there's nothing around here. But over there in the corner, I'm looking at this bone sticking out of this rock and going, it's right there. It's right there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic picture quality. You know? And now it's like a 8K, you know, extremely high def, you know, and whatever type of resolutions we're up to now. And it's like, how much clearer does it have to be?
Well, you know, Venison, when you get to your age,
don't even try that.
The eyes don't work like they used to. So,
like hell.
But I still got some working vision here, you know.
So do I.
Anyways, so what I was getting at though is that on the Vizio TV, I was using every input. But to take a moment here, Dune writes in, OMG, you took an elder's food. No follow for you. I bought the pizza. I bought that pizza.
Dune. Every time you say
Dude.
Dune, I'm going to play Dune.
I'll teach you.
This is how I know you're a listener of my shows, because you play with sound effects right.
Yep.
Okay. So, anyways, where was I? So I use every input except for the two spare HDMI inputs. I use every old input on that Vizio TV. So I've been looking at the prices of TV lately, and the Vizio TV didn't get to the East Coast in quite the same condition it left the West Coast in. It was packed very well. It came in one piece, no cracks or, you know, but on the top of the screen, there's little slight spots that are a little dull. And you notice it when there's something particularly bright on, and it's you know, it actually mellowed out a bit after I, you know, had it on for a bit in Maine, and it's barely even noticeable. But I'm pretty sure I didn't notice that in California, so I kind of think that's just kind of a side effect of moving it across the country. Or it could have been starting in California, and I just never paid attention, because when your stuff gets moved across the country and you entrust it in someone else's hands, you tend to look closer at your things when they come out of their box than when you put them in the box.
Or you might have some kind of magnetic device that's kind of like screw up the screen a little bit.
Well, that was on the old two TVs because I remember in college, my roommate.
I had that happen.
I had a roommate that had one of these magnet things that swings back and forth. And he thought, well, let's try putting it on top of the TV. And every time the pendulum swung back and forth, the colors would get messed up on the TV. Well, nope, I can't keep it there.
Yeah, I did that with a pair of headphones. I took them on my head for a second, put them on the corner of the TV, and noticed that little corner of the screen was just a little pinked out.
Yeah.
And it stayed that way for a couple months before turning it off and on, finally decals it, so it went away, but it stayed for a couple months.
Interesting. But anyways, what I was getting at was that I had what really struck me was I paid $600 for the 42-inch 1080p TV, and I was seeing that if you waited and you played your cards right, you could get a bigger TV with a higher resolution for a lower price. And when I saw that made me start to think, maybe I could use a bigger TV.
There you go.
Because there once was a time I was willing to pay $600 for 42 inches and 1080p. By that logic, I should be willing to pay $500 for 55 inches at 4K. Plus, I really, I bought my TV before they started adding, smart TV features to it, which I never cared all that much about because I got a laptop hooked up to a wireless mouse and keyboard on my coffee table, so I could run YouTube and anything I want to there. But the idea of the TV's got, YouTube and everything built into it, and you can even browse the internet from it, that sounds pretty cool. And I wouldn't mind, playing around with that. So I kind of started thinking these past few months, I'm going to, keep my eye on these prices and on TVs and start looking at the different manufacturers and things like that. And, we have a lot of Samsung screens at where I work, and I noticed they have a really beautiful picture. There's something very vibrant about and I swung by Best Buy to see like how much it would cost if I get it from the store, which of course is more than online. But I got to see a bunch of let's see how Vizio's doing, and the Vizios look nice. The Samsungs. The thing about Samsung is that they make these curved ones now that are the TVs used to be convex, and now Samsung's making concave ones, and I guess they figured that's the logical step because they curved outward. Then they made them flat. Well, where do you go next? Curve them in, of course. How could I miss that?
Why would they do that?
Because they can.
Because they can. And the theory is that when it's curved that way, your field of vision, the way your vision works, it makes the TV look bigger in your field of vision or more accurate because the points are equidistant from your eyes or as you look out, and it's supposed to also if you have a flat screen TV and you're looking at it from an angle, that kind of distorts the picture, but if the TV's curved, there's a little bit less distortion, so you can kind of it's kind of like expanding the sweet spot, like audio has the sweet spot.
I never noticed distortion from the side angle.
Well, I mean, if you look at a TV from the side, it's not going to look like a perfect rectangle. I mean, you don't think of it that way, but in reality, you're seeing it distorts it. Your mind kind of compensates.
Yeah, but
for
you
that,
have to really be on the side for it, and for the most part, you're not going to look at the TV that way anyhow.
Well, yeah, the truth of the matter is it makes very little difference.
Yeah,
that's the truth of the matter. It's totally a gimmick, but
they'll charge you $300 more for it.
I think the curved ones and the flat ones are in about the same price range at this point. I don't know if it started that way or what, but that was the gimmick. Was we'll curve them the opposite direction and tell people that makes the picture look better. And technically, they are correct, but it's barely noticeable, so it's really not worth the inconvenience of having a curved TV again for the barely noticeable improvement. So I knew I didn't want curved, but I did like Samsung's picture, so I was thinking, I might go Samsung rather than Vizio if I could find a Samsung at a good price. And I've been keeping my eye on Woot and thinking about it and kind of tossing it back and forth, and every now and then the Vizio screen goes black and I have to turn it off and turn it on a few times to get it going, although it hasn't done that in like a month. But it's done it a few times. So I on Tuesday, Woot Electronics put the 55-inch 4K Samsung TV up at $500, and I was like, there it is. The universe is telling me to buy this. And so I hit the button and I bought it, and it'll be getting here in about a week. And I'm all excited. 55 inches right in my living room of 4K beauty that I can watch DVDs ripped from VHS tapes of all my children reruns on. It's gonna look great. It's gonna look great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you say you say that, but you're actually going to use it to watch porn. I mean, let's get real now.
No.
Well,
Porn is. What do you think this is? The 70s? When's the last time anyone watched porn on a TV? You watch porn on a computer screen. Porn is for computer screens late at night with your door closed with about 20 tabs open of different things.
And you know this how?
Do it for you. That is how you watch porn.
not at 45 inches. It looks pretty incredible.
There are some things you don't need every little detail of.
You know, when Johnny's TV arrives at his house, he's going to go, yeah.
Yeah,
This 45-inch plasma is like, wow.
and I just got to say, who needs porn sites when you got Bing's video search?
And zoom in. Whoa.
Alrighty then.
Well, Venison lives alone, so he can jerk off in his living room in front of his 45-inch TV.
I don't think I needed to know that.
Me, on the other hand, I'll stick to my computer in my little office here.
Oh, the other hand?
Door.
Okay.
I mean, the last thing I want to know is Vincent doing that, and then here. I mean,
we ate that pizza in his living room. Now that I think about it.
Oh God, now I got a joke about cheese too. I'm going to leave it.
May have been a mistake going for the 5th slice there. I can't believe you counted how many slices I ate out of the pizza I bought.
I was hungry.
That was a big pizza. Those were 3 big slices. I thought I only ate 4 because I thought I ate 4, you ate 2, and you saved 2 for later.
Yeah. In fact, when you took the 5th slice, your statement was, "Well, I bought it."
It was big pizza. That's what she said.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe if you had a bathroom to offer me, I would have left you the other slice.
Wait, I think the bathroom still worked. Did it? Yeah, it did.
Let me give you. No. Here was the exchange. Do you have a bathroom? Yeah, about that. I'll need to go empty it. No. That's okay. I'll hold it.
See, Johnny, here's what you do. What you do is that next time you go to Vincent and you have the pizza, if his bathroom is malfunctioning again, bring a shovel, go to the backyard, dig a hole, and squat over it.
Well, all I need to do is go ahead.
That's what I use the porta potty for.
Well, I didn't have to drop a deuce anywhere. I just needed to, water the lawn a bit. But
it was clean that day.
It was raining that day, if I recall. And if I went out to pee on a tree, I would have gotten lost in the jungle that is Venison's yard.
Yeah, all the tools broke.
On the upside, I could have walked out in his front yard in broad daylight and peed on the yard, and no one would have known. But then I would be lost in the jungle.
And then Guns N' Roses would be playing in your head.
Welcome to the jungle. Help, I'm lost. So that is the purchase I made. And after I made the purchase, I kind of thought to myself, I gotta, set this up, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, wait a minute. Do they still include multiple composite and S video inputs on TVs? And I went and I took a look, and the specs say that it includes one component video input, one composite input. And I'm like, okay, all right. Video switchers, we can make this work. But before we get to that, I just forgot. I want to talk about refresh rates on TVs. Because generally, I think the standard for the entry level and the cheaper models of TVs is 60 hertz. And they say that it's better to get a 120 hertz refresh rate on the TV, that makes a difference and it looks nicer. And so I pulled up the specs on the Samsung TV that was on sale to see what the refresh rate was. Now, mind you, this same TV Woot had on for sale last month for $500, and I was eyeing it up, and I decided not to because of this, because I thought I want to get one with a 120 hertz refresh rate because that's better than 60, and people say that makes a difference. It looks better, so that's what I was keeping an eye out for. And the Samsung is quoted as having a motion rate of 120. And I was like, motion rate 120? Does that mean the refresh rate is 120 hertz? And I'm an informed, intelligent consumer that sees that figure does not say refresh and does not have an HZ after it. So I don't know what in the fuck a motion rate is.
Now, I think I might know, or something like it. I think they call it something else though, because there's a thing. A spec, that not too many people take notice of, and you should. It has something to do with the refresh, kind of. It's the ability of background scenery, watching the background scenery. Like, okay, if you're looking at the camera inside the car at the driver, and then the scenery goes past behind him. You're driving with the street, you see trees going by and all like that. A lot of times, with the lower rate, it's blurred. And with a higher rate, it's a lot clearer. Things things go by clearer. But for the most part, a lot of TVs, that motion rate was blurred in the background, and it got to be really annoying.
Yeah, that's what they say. A 60 hertz refresh rate, a 120 hertz refresh rate, you're going to have less blur with the motion than with the 60 hertz. But that's refresh rate. But Samsung's calls their spec motion rate. So I did a search on that to see, because Woot listed the TV as having a refresh rate of 120 hertz and a motion rate of 120. But Samsung's site, because I went to Samsung's site to get the real scoop on the TV and the details of the specs, does not quote a refresh rate. They only quote the motion rate. So I'm like, did someone from Woot just translate that on their own? And is that really accurate? And I found an article that talks about how a lot of manufacturers are making up specs that are kind of like a refresh rate, but are not refresh rate, and then making up their own number system to go with it. And maybe they have their own logic for this, but it's a little convoluted. And so it turns out Samsung's motion rate on their 4K TVs is basically double what the refresh rate is. So a motion rate of 120 means that TV is a 60 hertz refresh rate TV, not a 120 hertz refresh rate TV. And Woot still lists that TV as a 120 hertz refresh rate. And I've pointed this out in the comments to them. So that's why I passed on it the first time, because I want a 120 hertz refresh rate TV this time. But I did some more research, and I found if I want a 120 hertz refresh rate, I'm going to have to shell out at least $1,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
The 120 hertz, because you get the big TVs, you can get the 4K, you can get the smart in those, cheaper line of TVs. But one spec that really makes a difference between the cheap TV and the expensive TV is the expensive one's got the faster refresh rate. So if you want that spec, you got to pony up for it. And I decided, you know what? I look at the display TVs in the stores. I've watched many 60 hertz TV, because I bet you most TVs in people's homes, they bought the cheaper one, and it's been fine with me up to now. And this is what I already had in mind for the size and the resolution and having the smart TV. So I decided I'm okay sticking with a 60 hertz refresh rate, and so that's why I pulled the trigger when it showed up on Tuesday. But so the inputs, one component, one composite, no S-video. And I'm bummed about that because I like S-video for my Super Nintendo and my Nintendo 64. But you know what? Like I said, the difference between composite and Super Video, very minimal. And if I really want to get I mean, the graphics, the resolution of a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo is only so much anyways. And I'm not one of those. There seems to be two types of people when it comes to the vintage video game systems. Those that try to push it to its limit and get scalers and go overboard on getting the absolute best picture. And those that buy an old tube TV to get the authentic scanline look. And I'm neither of those. I think my Raspberry Pi looks pretty good. And I just like having the original as well. But I probably play on my Pi more than I play on the original systems. So, you know, whatever, composite. But
at least I have more inputs than you do.
That's the only spec that you excel at. But it gets it gets better. They don't actually put composite AV and component video connectors on the panel on the TV. No, they put two 1/8-inch jacks on the side of the TV. And you have to use the two of them together if you want to use the component.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the 1/8-inch jacks is your composite and audio. So it gives you a yellow, red, and white. But the yellow is also green. So that if you hook up the second cable in the second 1/8-inch jack, you get the red and the blue. So you could use either component or composite with your with those with that input. So it's really weird. And I figure, okay, I could probably make that work. I'm obviously going to have to get a switch box of some sort. The thing is AV switch boxes are a dime a dozen. And you can use it as an AV switch box, or you can use it as a component video only switch box and then hook up the audio directly to the receiver. But I'd rather let the audio run through the TV. Although I guess I could do that, but that would just complicate things. So when it comes to component switch boxes, they're always electronic. You have to, so it's got to take up another plug outlet. And here's the question. I am very concerned about input lag. And one of the things about the Samsung TV is that it's got a very good reputation for having the lowest input lag in its game mode. So I'm happy there. But my receivers got 2 component video inputs and a bunch of composite inputs. So it's like I can hook up all my games to the receiver, but I know that receiver is processing the video to translate it to the HDMI. I'm adding input lag. So I don't want to go that route. If I buy an electronic component video switch box, is that just using a relay and it's just shooting it straight through? Or is there something going on in there that's going to cause input lag? You know, and plus I got to take up an extra plug outlet, and I have so many things plugged in. I'm running out of outlets. So that's my TV input dilemma.
Mine's a little bit different, you know. And yeah, unfortunately, unlike you, you know, I bought my TV. Well, my old man and I bought our plasma TV way back, you know, when they were getting around there, you know, and a few brands came out and all like this, but there were no smart TVs around, no, you know, multiple input, no internet, no YouTube, whatever compatible thingies, just
no
straight
YouTube.
Yeah, straight plasma TV, and that was it. But you know, the things I got was, like I said, a 45-inch Hitachi, and it was great. Plus, you know, but also, you know, LCD I was thinking about, but then they came up with, and occasionally you might have, you know, pixel failure. 1 or 2 or maybe 3 pixels might go out. You know, there's nothing really to worry about, but no, you just had this, you know, this white hole, tiny but still there. That's a little bit annoying. It's like, okay, LCDs get that? No, thank you. I'll stick with plasma. So went out and got the plasma, and I got 5 HDMI inputs, the component and the composite, and also optical audio inputs. It's like, yay!
Inputs or outputs?
Inputs.
Oh,
You know,
why do you need to input an audio only to your TV though?
I don't know if it's because it kind of works because the receiver that I had optical audio out.
I
what
see.
feed that to the optical audio in on the TV.
Why would you want to feed your receiver to your TV?
Because that's the way it was.
Okay.
I had two. All I had was 2 DVD players, one recorder, one player, and they were hooked up to the receiver HDMI, and what came out of the receiver was HDMI, and also because I didn't know which way or another or whatever, HDMI. Oh, that's right. The HDMI was only video coming out of the receiver, no audio.
Huh.
Don't know why that is.
That's weird.
So I used the optical output, optical audio output, and fed that in. So it has super digital inputs to the TV, and everything was great. But that's for the stereo out of speaker to the TV. Otherwise, everything came out the receiver. So all in all, it turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't have all the extras, and that cost a little over $2,000.
Yeah, they were expensive back in the day.
Yeah, they were.
But at least you had the old TV to act as a TV stand for your new TV.
You got it. It's a perfect height too.
Yeah, he's got an old console TV sitting on the floor, the new plasma TV sitting on top of it.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's great.
25-inch console. That's now a piece of furniture.
Yeah, I've got to rearrange things in the living room because right now I got the 42-inch TV on the shelf and the receiver next to it. No, the new TV's taking up the whole thing. I don't know if I want to do the walls in this apartment kind of crumble when you start drilling into them. Even if I find a beam and do it right, I'm still gonna have to. I end up with a bigger hole than I try to make because the walls in certain places, I think they fixed some of the walls in this place with Bondo. I think they bought a tub of Bondo and started slathering it and then put a new paint job on top and called it good. Because I had a little difficulty hanging a towel rack in the bathroom because I'd drill into the wall and get an anchor in there to kind of screw the towel rack. And anytime I broke into the wall, it just like, crumbling apart. It's like, no, neat hole. Just the one little neat hole. Don't crumble. What are you doing?
Cheap ass drywall or something.
Yeah. This this apartment. They bought the house. They redid it cheaply to make it look nice, and they rented the apartments. I have a feeling these are first time landlords, but
yeah. But at least you got room for these things. I realize here that with this 45-inch, that's about the biggest I can put in here. So I mean, with the windows, the walls, the fireplace, and the alcove and everything else in there, there's no room for anything larger. I can't put it in here. If I put it like a 55 in, it would be too big and would stick out into the alcove some. It would but 45-inch, it's still good.
Well, there you go.
It's still big enough. It's huge.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I went to my aunt and uncle's for New Year's, and my they bought a new TV recently, and it's a Samsung. They went with the curve. They fell for the gimmick. I didn't point and laugh at them, but but we're sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I could tell it's bigger than my TV, but not by a whole lot. I'm like, that doesn't seem. So I asked, what's the size? He goes, oh, it's a 49-inch. And I kind of gave him a look like, huh? And he goes, well, basically my aunt wouldn't let him get something because they have the living room is next to the kitchen, and they got like a wall that doesn't go up all the way that kind of divides the living room and the kitchen, so you can see from one end to the other. And the TV was not allowed to go above that. So 49 went right up to that. So that's all he was. I was thinking, well, you could get a lower table, but I didn't say that. I should have said, I didn't think of that at the time. I should have said, oh, you always get a lower table. Yeah.
Just
So
cut
I'm
the legs.
yeah.
Or get an old console TV.
Just sit it on the floor. Consoles are fine sitting on the floor, so will this. Which now I got to figure out where I'm going to put the old 42. So because I got a 27 in the bedroom. That was a cheapo, basically a cheapo 27 TV by a brand called Element. That's only 720p. Showed up on Woot one day, but I was still living in Oakland, and I was like, you know what? That'd be nice in the bedroom because I used to like, having the TV in my bedroom and falling asleep to the TV on. And when I was living in Oakland and we bought the new TV, we had one TV, and so we didn't have another one in the bedroom, and we didn't have room for a big CRT TV in that bedroom. But I could see putting a smaller flat panel TV on top of that. Well, that's where I had the record shelf because it was only a 1-bedroom apartment. So I bought that for that. So that's still been the bedroom TV. So I'm thinking, well, we'll move the 42 into the bedroom. I don't know where I'm going to put it, where I have room, but I'm going to try to find some way or some place to fit it in there. So that'll be nice.
Huh.
But yeah, I'm quite excited about that. But
There you go. Porn TV in the bedroom.
yeah. Wait, what? No. I don't know. I do that in front of my computer. Have you been listening to anything I say?
Small screen.
But speaking of entertainment, let's talk about Moby.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Moby is in the news a little bit, and you know Moby. He's the guy that is made of stars or something like that. How does that work? He's
I don't know.
the only
He's
thing
made
I
of something.
Weird dude.
No, I think that's the only song I can name by Moby is "We Are All Made of Stars." I believe that was Moby, right? Yeah, it was. It's totally Moby, but it's not playing on that Winamp because I have to open up the right Winamp for it to play because the encoder Winamp won't play FLAC for some reason.
Huh.
And my real Winamp is here. It is. But yeah, Moby is in the news, and you know what? Don't tune out, Dune, because we're just talking about current events and what's going on, and this isn't anything that actually matters. But Moby says he'll perform at President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration under one condition, though it didn't work when Alec Baldwin made the same request. The DJ says he was asked to play at the inaugural ball and jokingly said that he will only take the offer if Trump releases his taxes. He wrote on Instagram, I was just asked by a booking agent if I would consider DJing at one of the inaugural balls for Trump. Wait, really? I guess I DJ at the inaugural ball if as payment Trump releases tax returns. Also, I would probably play Public Enemy and Stockhausen remixes to entertain the Republicans. I'm still laughing.
You should not forget NWA.
No, yeah, you shouldn't forget NWA. But I was very impressed with Moby mentioning Stockhausen. And because Venison, you know who Stockhausen is?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know if it's the same people.
All right, Stockhausen was a composer of a German composer, and he was kind of a groundbreaking in the world of electroacoustic music in the early days of electronic music, when electronic music didn't mean something with a keyboard. It meant having devices that wave generators that you would make noises onto tape and modify the tape and splice them together in different ways. And I do have to educate you people out there, because if you read this story and you didn't laugh when you got to the word Stockhausen, I have to explain to you now why that's funny. So let me pull up a little Stockhausen. Stockhausen's most known for a work called Song of the Youths. And we'll cue a little bit of that up. And Song of the Youths is famous for using both kinds of electronic music. Those that were generate electronic sounds and recorded sounds manipulated.
Weird.
Yeah. It's based on the text of the songs of the youths in the fiery furnace from the book of Daniel.
that part right there almost sounded like it came from PBS.
It does, doesn't it?
It's got some vices do. That sounded like Vestas for a second.
There's PBS again.
There it is. I like this. And the great thing is this is from the mid 50s. And it was done in 4-channel surround sound. I think this is the earliest this is one of the earliest uses of surround sound I can find. And it's funny you mentioned the PBS sound, because I used to end my show with the PBS sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Stockhausen died, I ended every show with a segment of this piece. I would always end the show with the closing seconds of this. Here it is, coming up. Wait. There it is.
That I was going to say that sounded so familiar.
Stockhausen. I ended every show with a little Stockhausen.
You're watching PBS. Zig Hale.
Well, the actual PBS sound is I have that still, because I used to use that all the time. Let's see, I think that's in my old NHB drive. And if I go in my do I not have my sounds folder in there anymore?
Damn, where the hell is it?
I reorganized everything. And no, that's not it either. Huh, where did I put that? Well, on the other hand, I do have what do I have? I have.
As an old cock-sucking hippie, I'll tell you nothing beats a good dicking while high on grass.
I do have that.
Okay.
It's bobsled time. I haven't played that one in a while.
Shit.
Not sure where I put my sounds folder, though.
Didn't you also play, let's see if I have this up. This one? If it play.
Oh, yeah. I opened with that quite a bit.
Oh, that's the name of the group. I was kind of wondering, every time you mention Stockhausen, I think of this other group that has the same name. but they're called Stockhausen Walk.
Yeah, you've mentioned them before, but I don't know much about them.
Yeah, they're very obscure. I got a couple of things from them, but
yeah,
it's really odd stuff.
Oh, here's the PBS sound.
Yep. Oh, you want to hear odd? Something odd?
Hmm?
Like, let's see.
Listen to my folders.
Hip hop opera.
Cool.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Different.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. I'll play a little more of Stockhausen's earlier, just purely electronic stuff. But yeah, I could see Moby totally doing some remixes of Stockhausen at the inaugural ball. I think that would go over well. I think he should. I think Trump should release his tax returns to Moby so that the world can hear what Moby can do with Stockhausen. The world needs this.
Or he could release his tax returns on sound effects of Doctor Who.
Oh, there you go. Anyways, you know, and if he does, I'm going to suggest he throw in a little Milton Babbitt in there too.
No, no.
What's wrong with Milton Babbitt? Don't be putting down Milton Babbitt now.
We don't have that many hours of a radio show.
I thought you liked Milton Babbitt.
No.
You even said you were like, "Yeah, I got one of his things."
That was, yeah, that's what you would call the original olden days of synthesizer, music where they just made sounds and patch bays and stuff like that. It just made sounds, but no real music.
Well, no, but Milton Babbitt was composing 12-tone music.
Yeah, I heard it. It just still sounded more like sounds.
But you could play piano to it too, though. I mean, it was here's Reflections for Piano and Synthesized Tape.
Like I said.
That sounds like something from a horror game or a horror movie.
I rest my case.
It's not bad, is it?
Is it?
God.
I like it.
Yeah, you would. But then again, we've seen a lot of your tastes on what you like.
Hey, they could always play K-pop at the inauguration.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Watch all the Republicans' head melt.
Yeah, they'll go, is that North Korean? It better not be North Korean.
I don't know. Personally,
South.
I think the best option would be, something like let's see. I think something like this would be fitting for the inauguration.
Yeah.
Famous Russian composer Shostakovich. I think it's just what we need.
Trump take control of the world.
Anyways. God,
Trump and Putin, world domination.
Yeah, so apparently no one's going to be watching our nukes anymore come the 20th, so that's great.
Yeah. That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
There we go.
There we go. Plenty of options for Moby to remix at the inaugural mall if Trump releases his tax returns.
Oh, he could do Tunak Tunak Tun. Every time Tunak Tunak Tun is said, it speeds up.
I see.
Nuclear explosion.
There you go.
Watch him completely freak out.
Anyways, so Warhawk, I think you were showing me you have a Raspberry Pi there.
Yes, I do. It's a Raspberry Pi 2, and I'm going to see if I can make it into a radio automation computer. There is a radio automation software that's open source, which I like because that means it's free.
Free is good.
Free is definitely good. Don't have to pay $1,000 for something that I have to wait on updates on. And the software is called Rivendell. And this is the same type of software that professional and commercial radio stations use. But the only thing is it runs on Linux. It does not run on Windows. So, but the Raspberry Pi has Linux. So I'm going to see what I could do about that and make a 24/7 music station. Hopefully.
Cool. And was that something that you're going to share with the world, or kind of just more for your personal, hey, wherever I am, I can listen to my personal station? Or
No, share.
That's cool.
So I could play Tunak Tunak Tun.
On loop.
Yeah.
All day long.
Sped up.
God.
That's cool. That's a cool little project you found for it. That'll you got to let us know how that comes along.
Yeah,
I'm looking
sure
at
will.
that site now, Rivendell Open Source Radio Automation. You can go to rivendellaudio.org. It's RIVENDELLAUDIO.org. A completely GPL'd radio automation system designed for efficient on-air use with large touchscreen friendly controls. Oh, so you can like tie in a touchscreen to your Raspberry Pi if you're all techie like that.
Oh, yeah.
Up to 3 full automation logs, maybe operate it from a single computer. Extensive support for live assist environments, multiple sound panel arrays. I mean, yeah, that sounds like some pretty heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, if you check out their gallery, it looks cool, and it's got like this one screen that looks like something that a digital version of a cart machine. Ever since I first saw those cart machines, like Totally 70s on Vaughn Live has, or other internet radio stations, I was like, I gotta get me one of these. So I did some research, and looks like the only place I could find them is on eBay. Not sure I would trust eBay. But that's just me. I never used eBay before.
When it comes to stuff like that, your best bet is to know how to repair electronics, because I mean this stuff is breaking down at this point, and that's where I struggle. I'm not good at really repairing electronics, so I usually have to pick and choose and pay someone to repair things for me.
Yeah, especially when you can't find a starting on it, because there's no more Radio Shacks around.
That sucks. The Radio Shacks around here are closing too. And I was like, what the hell?
They messed up, though. They really did not stay relevant. And I don't know if it's easy for me to criticize them because I'm not running their stores. But their attempt to stay relevant as sales dwindled in the hobby and electronic stuff was to just turn into a store that sells the same shit that you can get in any other store, which only served to make them even less relevant. Because I'd walk into a Radio Shack looking for a certain type of power cord, and they had no idea what I was looking for. There was no catalog to try to look something up and order it for me, but they could sell me a phone if I want a phone. They had some great specials on phones. Could I show you a phone? Could I interest you in a phone? Anytime I walked into a Radio Shack in the past 10 years, they try to sell me a phone. And
Hi, welcome to Radio Shack. We don't have any radios, but we do have a wide selection of phones.
You can listen to the radio on your phone.
Right.
And you can use the phone in a shack.
Phone Shack.
And then when I would try to do like a project and I needed some, capacitors and resistors, I go in there, I'm like, where are your parts? Where are your capacitors, resistors? They're like, oh, there's a few drawers in the back over there. And the selection was so limited, they never had what I needed. And when I was in California, there was a Fry's a few towns over. I mean, it was a little bit of a drive to get to Fry's, but Fry's is a huge store, had a lot of things. And they still didn't have everything I needed, but they had a much wider selection than Radio Shack. So Radio Shack really just kind of gave up.
Yeah, but we don't have a Fry's around here.
yeah. That I don't have
anything like it.
Same here. I miss Fry's. I miss Fry's. That's one thing I miss. Well, I miss a lot of things. But hey, I'm going to be getting back to San Francisco in a few weeks. On January 30th, my flight takes off, and
cool.
Going out there for a week to work, but also to I'll have to hang out with Mars at least one night while I'm out there.
I will be going to San Jose sometime later this year, and San Francisco is like not that far, I believe.
No, not that far at all. Because I was I lived in Hayward, which is not that far from San Jose. So that's in the same general area.
So I want to check out San Francisco's Chinatown.
Oh yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of cool things to do in San Francisco. Lots of great record stores.
Take pictures of the house from Full House.
Yeah, you can do that. San Jose. Go ahead.
When I was there, I never got a chance to see much of San Francisco. I don't know why. I was there on Treasure Island. I couldn't take a bus anywhere. I didn't go.
Huh.
I don't know why.
Yeah, you really should have.
I know.
It's an awesome city.
Most of the time, I was bored sitting on that island. I just didn't go that far.
No, San Francisco's an awesome city.
Yeah, that's where Starfleet Academy is. Star Trek joke.
There you go.
I know I didn't go.
But but San Jose, that's where the Winchester Mystery House is, which is interesting if you want to go on the tour.
Never heard of that. No, there's a friend of the family that lives in San Jose, and my mom, I told you about her. She passed away last year, and my mom kind of took him in, like when he used to live over here on the East Coast, and he worked and went to college full time, and so she took care of him. So I'm going to go over there with my brother. I'm going to have a little memorial. Then I'm going to eat some nice Korean barbecue.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yes. If you never tried Korean barbecue, go do it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Lots of great food to get in the Bay Area in San Francisco. Dune writes in, because he was stoned.
Huh?
That was probably relevant to something we said. Maybe that's why you never went to San Francisco when you were in Treasure Island.
No, I haven't discovered it yet.
But no, the Winchester Mystery House. It's I guess was it Sarah Winchester? Thought that supposedly she thought that to appease the spirits or whatever, she needed to keep always building the house and never stop, and she always had a staff.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and this house just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and because of that, weird things would happen. Like there's some doors that just kind of drop down to the next floor. There's a door that just faces the outside. You open it up and it just goes outside up on like the second floor.
And there's like steps that lead up to the roof or something.
Right, stairs that just go to nowhere. And it just goes to the ceiling, which it's a case of the stairs used to be functional to go somewhere, but then they decided to build more there. And so they built over the steps. So now they have the stairs to nowhere, or there's a door that just opens to nothing that probably used to do something or used to go into somewhere. And it's just because of the way they just kept building. It's just such an odd house. And you can go in, and then there's as she got older, it was harder for her to move around. And she couldn't lift her feet up so high, so they built these like low riser steps that just these really short steps that just kind of go back and forth to get up to the next floor. It's a very interesting house.
Looks like something I'm going to have to check out when I'm over there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah, definitely get into the city. Spend some time there. That's always great fun. I'm looking forward to it. And this time I bought Kristen a ticket so she can fly out with me. It's like, well, my ticket's paid for, my meals are paid for, my room's paid for. I'll just buy a plane ticket for the missus, and she can come hang out in San Francisco too.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the pictures of the steps that go up to nowhere. That is odd.
Yeah. It is.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why didn't I go check out the streets of San Francisco?
Oh yeah, they're worth checking out.
God, the cops. Cops in San Francisco. Hey, Ashbury. I wanted to go there for so long.
Oh, I will go to Haight-Ashbury all the time. That's where some of the best record stores were at. The big one, Amoeba. I'd always go there.
It's best weed.
It's funny. I was hanging out at Haight-Ashbury. I go to Amoeba, buy some records. I get out, and I'm waiting for my bus to come. And this guy comes up to me and says, "You smoke pot?" I said, "No." He says, "Good, don't." Yeah, I laughed, and he laughed. He's like, "You got a quarter?" Yeah, that I have. Here you go. Have my quarter.
For somebody like that said, don't smoke pot. That's okay. I won't. You got a quarter? No, I don't loan out money.
He didn't say don't smoke pot. He asked me if I smoke pot. Before he asked me if I had any on me or whatever. That was the first question.
But he looked at it in a negative.
Well, he was just trying to pretend like he was saying, like, yeah, good, don't, me neither. Yeah. Yeah, I was just. I think if I said yes, he would have been like, yeah, you got some on you right now. Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, but that's Haight-Ashbury. Good times. So yeah, maybe this trip I'll actually get out there, because I didn't get out there last time because I got stuck at the holiday office party, and then it was very rainy that day anyway. So even if I could get down there, it wouldn't have been that much fun. But yeah, this trip I'll definitely at least an evening or two get over to Haight-Ashbury, do some shopping. But yeah, so I don't know. No one's written in this whole show except for Dune. No one else has written. Oh, I know why we're not getting write-ins. Usually Warhawk writes.
Yeah. Maybe I should write in, but only Dune is writing in.
Yeah. Oh, gee. Let's see. Do I have any other topics we could? Because we got 21 minutes. We talked about Moby. I think I'm done talking about the TV. Let's see. Do I have any other tabs open? Because we talked.
Oh,
go ahead.
I have one thing, semi-TV related.
Okay.
Last night, I watched an episode, of Blackish. It was a new episode, and it surprised the hell out of me. And like an idiot, I didn't record it. Oh, I should have.
Well, they probably have it available to stream from their website. You can stream everything like the next day after, usually.
I hope so, because there's one part of it I have to get. It was incredible. For one thing, they were going off about the whole Trump thing. All right, and in the office, with at work, all the guys on there, the usual, sitcom type way, talking about why, how could people do this and this, that, and the other thing. And and one thing that got me the most, one thing that really hit home was, the show's lead, the father. I forgot what his name was, Trey or something like that. I forgot what his name. Memory block, but somebody went and said something. They say, "Hey, you've been awfully quiet through all this. How come you don't say anything? Don't you love America?" And he looked at him like, "What did you say to me?" And he went off on a speech that was mind blowing. It was like, wow. Just a shortened version of it. He's like, how dare you say that to me? I love my country, but the way that African Americans have been treated from the day off the post until now have been, have been less than equal, discriminatory, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, and show clips, of various bad scenarios that have been going on in history, as well as clips of the ghetto, taking jobs and nobody else take. I mean, it was an awesome speech. Say, don't you dare say that I don't love my country. I love my country. And he basically, dropped the mic and walked out of the room. It was the type of thing that left me stunned. It was like, wow. I mean, for the type of show that it was, to hear something like that was a little bit out of place, but it was like, wow.
Yeah, I can't find a I probably could find the whole episode, but I'm not finding. I was gonna try to see if maybe someone posted just that by itself on YouTube, but I'm not easily finding it. But it sounds like it's
it was heavy. It was really heavy. It was not something I was expecting from a show like that. I've seen him come close, and he kept it very general, but was not something I would expect from that show at all. But it was heavy duty. Yeah, I need to find that too somewhere.
Let's see. Oh, right now the newest episode, you have to verify that you pay for TV in order to watch it. But the second oldest and so on, you can watch. So if you give it a week, you should be able to watch it again.
Yeah,
streaming it through the website. But I should be able to right now because I pay for Xfinity. So I'll just go ahead and put a check in that box there. Click that button there. And now ABC knows I pay for TV. Because that's not for antenna people. Even though I only pay for standard def TV and watch high def on antenna, that's this streaming is for people that pay for TV, not for antenna users.
Huh.
I don't know. That's let's see if we could. But it'd be near the end of the episode, right?
Sort of like kind of in the middle endish.
Middle endish. So like 3/4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what we got here as it buffers.
And I'm scared. And I don't want to hate people, but I kind of do. Because honestly, I feel hated. I feel like I failed you.
What are you talking about?
Because as a mom, It is my job to deliver a world where the values that I raised you to believe in matter.
Oh,
Okay, so that's in there in the kitchen. Mother's talking to the daughter. So is it before or after that?
Wow, I'm not sure that's it. Think after. Like I
All
said,
right.
they were in the office.
All right. Well, now the grandfather's talking to the son.
Wait, let's hear that.
Here we go. Now that.
I'm feeling this look on you too.
All right, I think we're going to switch to the office soon here.
Look, I'm sorry
That's-
for blowing up like that.
Yeah, that's the episode.
This election is driving me crazy too, and I know how hard
Okay,
it is
before.
to deal with the gut punch that.
So he blew up before. So this is the after the speech. Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to backtrack a little bit and find him in the office earlier.
Huh?
He's gonna start arresting women for having abortion.
He walked that back, and maybe you wouldn't have to worry about that if 650,000 emails didn't.
No.
We're talking about
emails, not policy. Emails.
See what I did there?
Look, all I know is that man would never be my president.
Agree.
What about the Electoral College? I mean, there is still time to overturn that.
No.
He should, right? Wait, no, hold on. What's so funny, Dre?
Yeah, you have had nothing to say about any of this.
Here it is.
Why do you not care about what's happening to our country?
What did you say to me?
This is it.
You don't think I care about this country? I love this country, even though at times it doesn't love me back. For my whole life, my parents, my grandparents, me, for most black people, this system has never worked for us. But we still play ball, tried to do our best to live by the rules, even though we knew they would never work out in our favor.
Strange fruit.
Had to live in neighborhoods that you wouldn't drive through. Send our kids to schools with books so beat up you couldn't read them. Work jobs that you wouldn't even consider in your nightmares.
And blood at the roots.
Black people wake up every day believing that our lives are gonna change, even though everything around us says it's not. Truth be told, you ask most black people and they tell you that no matter who won this election, they didn't expect the hood to get better.
Strange fruit.
But they still voted because that's what you're supposed to do. You think I'm not sad that Hillary didn't win? That I'm not terrified about what Trump's about to do? I'm used to things not going my way. I'm sorry that you're not, and it's blowing your mind. So excuse me if I get a little offended because I didn't see all of this outrage when everything was happening to all of my people since we were stuffed on boats in chains. I love this country as much, if not more, than you do, and don't you ever forget that.
Well, that silenced the room.
Yes, it did. I was like, wow.
Hey, we still have a viewer.
He should have ended with a.
There we go.
Yeah, no, that would be racist.
Yeah, well, what? According to Addie, I'm Mr. Racist Supreme anyway. So,
Well, I don't know. It could have ended with yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was okay because it was a sound effect. You didn't actually say
Right,
it.
it was
right,
a sound
Venison?
effect. It was a sound effect. It was from the Chappelle show, so it's okay.
Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah.
Chappelle show clips are fair game, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah.
We play them, not if you play them.
Well, what if we set it up so that you remotely triggered the sound to play from his computer, or like if he wants to play the sound, he clicks a button that then says a form for you to sign off your approval. And
A waiver button.
Yeah, okay, it's appropriate. You can play the sound. Speaking of which, did you get the clip I sent you on Twitter of the guy exploding a watermelon?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was tapping my foot a bit, and wondering how to respond to that.
Well, you always talk about sending exploding watermelons. So when I see a video of someone exploding a watermelon, what am I to do but send it to you?
Oh yeah, I did that. Okay.
I figure you get a kick out of that.
Yeah, that just now popped back in memory.
Oh, you didn't remember all your talk about exploding watermelons? You thought I just you thought I just saw that video and said, "Hey, watermelon, venison will like that."
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Johnny. Yeah.
What?
We went from talking about racism to talking about what now?
Exploding watermelons. It's okay. It was a white guy exploding the watermelon.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I'm not sure if that makes it worse or not.
I was wondering myself.
No, here. Let me screen share for you and show you. There's this guy on YouTube named Uncle Rob, which is really funny because I have an Uncle Rob, but the Uncle Rob I have doesn't explode watermelons. He breaks his fingers trying to winch boats out of the lake. But it's okay. They were able to reattach it. But exploding watermelons? No, my Uncle Rob does not explode water. But this guy that goes by the name Uncle Rob does explode watermelons.
Rob, nothing better than a great watermelon with some friends after a long hot day. So I'm going to show you a quick way to distribute the watermelon to everybody. First, soak your watermelon in gas overnight. It'll soak up all the gasoline. Take it out. Take a fuse. Stick it down as far as you can get it into the watermelon, and then just light it. And in no time at all, you'll have watermelon for your party. And now you got a great watermelon to share with your friends at your next party.
No, you don't.
Or next door.
Or next walk over.
So yeah, that's. But you know, Uncle Rob doesn't only teach how to serve watermelon or things like that, because he even teaches music lessons.
Yeah,
like you know, if you need to, have you ever wondered how to play Piano Man? Because if you're at a bar and you're all drinking, there's a piano over there in the corner. Being able to play Piano Man could be a good way to get a room full of drunk people singing out of key, and who doesn't want that? So for those that don't want a room full of drunk people singing out of key, here is the correct way to play Piano Man.
Music tips with Uncle Rob. Today I'm going to show you a great way to play Piano Man. First, start with D, then D with C sharp with the bass, then B minor, then douse it with gasoline. Put a full can inside the piano. Duct tape a flare to your lawnmower. Start it up. And send it to the piano.
And up it goes. I don't think that lawnmower is going to work much longer.
He likes blowing things up.
Yeah.
I'll blow you up. Oh, God.
And with a little bit of practice, now you can play Piano Man.
It's just that simple.
Boom, that just happened.
And if you don't want to play music, he could also give you tips on how to listen to music too.
Summertime tips with Uncle Rob. Today I'm going to show you the best way to listen to a Luke Bryan CD. First, fill a cooler with ice. Then dump in your beer. Then light up your grill. Then put your Luke Bryan CD in the CD player. Then fill the bucket with gasoline.
Here it comes.
Then drop it in the bucket. Then plug it in.
Whoa.
Then crack open a beer and listen to Skinner like a real man.
So there you go. That's how you listen to a Luke Bryan CD.
Nice.
Oh God, it's starting to remind me of that dude from the This Week in Business tape. Did I ever send you that?
I'm not remembering that.
Okay, it's a tape he made by this company we worked for, doing the old, ask this question and, play a selection of music back for the answer, that type of thing.
Oh, a Dickie Goodman type of thing.
Yeah, Dickie Goodman type of thing, and it was hysterical the way we put it together. But we had this one, the one guy, the main participant and the interviewer to go around, and whenever things got him upset, he would cry, "I'll blow you up," and he blows them up. That was a little dog coming out, coming over. He's kind of angry.
Nice.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes?
I think there's a message on the NHB Radio Twitter.
Oh, yes, there is. That did come in. Warhawk tweets in, "Hey, just right again. Good show." So thank you, Warhawk.
You're welcome.
There we go. Now that's two people that have written into the show this week. Well, I think they're all confused that we're on a Thursday when we should be on Monday. But I think next week we'll be back Monday with Brian Blues back in the house, hopefully. He's been busy this week. So because I asked him, like, hey, want to do a fill-in? It's funny, actually, because Monday I was all set to do a show because like me and Dune discussed, we have an idea. We were going to talk about Jay Booger's comments, and then Dune had an idea that Brian should take a few shots before each show each week, and maybe that'll loosen them up a bit and make him better on the show. And I was going to suggest this. At my personal recommendation, Crown Royal. I'm thinking we get Brian to do a few shots of Crown Royal before the show. As we all know from past shows, Brian does not drink Crown Royal because he doesn't touch the cheap stuff. So I've got
Sake.
There, yeah, Saki. I don't know. We'll see what we can talk him in, if we can talk him into this or not, because he's retired. If he wants to,
you want some hot wine?
I mean, Brian's retired, so shots at 5 o'clock on a Monday, no problem. He doesn't have work on Tuesday.
Liquor in the morning, liquor in the evening, liquor at supper time, drinking time, whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. So we're gonna. I was all ready to bring that up, and I even emailed Brian earlier in the day, kind of giving him a heads up and hey, gonna talk about this, gonna talk about that, and then I didn't get an email back from him, and then something came up that it was okay, this is important. I'll give this all my priority right now. And so I had to cancel the show. And so I sent Brian an email, "Hey, sorry, got to cancel the show." About an hour after the show would start, email comes back from Brian. "Oops, sorry, totally forgot about the show."
Okay.
Well, the problem is I have two email addresses for Brian, and I can never keep straight which one is which. And I emailed the one that he doesn't check as often. So from now on, I'm just going to email both.
Good idea.
So, anyways, that brings us to just enough time to wrap up the show. So I think we had just enough material.
And Chakra went there and messaged me.
Yeah?
Yeah, saying, "Did you call?"
Ask them if they're coming back to the if they're bringing the show back.
Let's do that spell. No.
But on that note, it's time to put another fun-filled episode of I didn't cue this up with the right levels to do that. All right, we'll fix it in post. It's time to put another fun-filled episode of
Insert title here.
It's a Bed. And thank you everyone for listening, and thank you to Adventures in Vinyl for plugging the show. And I think that's the first show plug I got.
Oh, and by the way, we allowed Gallagher to do Watermelons for the Sledge-O-Matic because that was a Sledge-O-Matic thing. So we allowed it.
Right.
So destruction of Watermelons then was okay.
Okay, so it's okay. It's okay for people to destroy watermelons, and it's okay for me to send you links of videos of people destroying watermelons.
Well, maybe.
Now, what about songs about watermelon?
Oh, now you're running on dangerous ground.
There's an awful. You ever the song that ice cream trucks play?
Oh God. I know where you're going with this.
You've heard that one.
Yes.
Oh, have we
yes,
ever?
I have.
You familiar with that one, Venison?
Unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Constantly. Every day.
Every day you sing that version of the song?
No, every day I hear that when ice cream trucks drives me mad.
Because now you know one of the versions of the lyrics. That's
hang low. Can you wave me with throw?
Jeez. So every time a ice cream truck passes by, he goes, racist!
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Dune writes in. Or sound effect.
Dune.
Yeah, he writes in, hey, great show, except for those parts I did not like. Word to Victor. I'm sorry, Dune. What would you prefer, Moby, to mix at Trump's inaugural ball if Trump releases his tax returns? I guess you're not a fan of the Stockhouse. Clearly, that's what the problem was.
Maybe he wants them to play Baby Metal at the inauguration.
Baby Metal, there it is.
Yep.
That's good stuff, If we're talking the same Baby Metal, I've heard some of that. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kids have got it down.
But anyways, on that note, time for me to head to bed because I get up at 5 a.m. now. But be sure to check out nhbradio.com and nhbshow.com. And don't forget to check out, what was it, Vinyl Voyage Radio? Yes, vinylvoyageradio.com. Check them out. Check out Adventures in Vinyl. And just take that latest episode of the UK version of Sold Out and play the opening of it over and over and over again.
And no answer from Chalker.
Oh, well, hopefully they'll come back someday because I miss them. They were fun. I bet we could get them to blow up a watermelon.
Yeah, I miss them too.
All right. But anyways, we do try to be educational here. And I know I've learned a whole lot. But Warhawk, what have you learned today?
Learn how to play piano with a can of gasoline.
Very good to know. And Venison, what have you learned today?
I've learned you could blow up a lot of things just with a can of gasoline. Gives me ideas.
And I've learned that collecting KTEL albums can pay off. It can result in you getting a plug on another show that people probably don't listen to all that. No, he probably gets more listeners than I do, so it was that probably worked good in my favor. And I've also learned that I need to get a switch box for my TV. Anyways, on that note, thank you everyone for listening. Good night.